Yeah, so it's a funny story. I'm not Brazilian. I'm Spanish American, but I started Brazil lacrosse. So Brazil lacrosse exists because of me. I was working for the International Federation, and part of my job in development was supporting countries and helping them, really get off the ground, but also launching new countries. And because it's our goal to get lacrosse to as many corners of the world as possible. So my regions were specifically Europe and the Americas. So I was able to launch Malta lacrosse, Uruguay lacrosse, and we brought it around to Brazil. So I was there actually developing the sport and helping their program kind of get off the ground, working with kids there. And I just fell in love with the people and their culture and just this incredible group that formed in Santarém. And when you plant a seed, you have like such a buy-in to that project, to that program, and of course you want to continue to water it and see it grow. So even now that I'm no longer with the International Federation, it's kind of my baby, and I've really wanted to just help it. It's for us, it really is just like from the heart. So so I've continued to help out as a volunteer, whether it's remotely. I live in Spain. So remotely helping them out, and actually this summer I had some time and I kind of just on a whim was like, hey, let's go back, and I went back to Brazil for a month as a volunteer, living with them, developing the sport with them, just because, and I fell even more in love with these kids and especially the girls, and seeing them just be so inspired to play a sport in a country that doesn't have that many opportunities for girls to play sports. So I've just been continually involved with Brazil lacrosse, and this other group, this heritage group out of North America, has been super involved and really wants to help out too, and be a part of this awesome project. So then I was kind of liaisoning a little bit between the group that I know in Brazil and this group that I had gotten to know that most of them live in North America, and so these are all Brazilians living in North America, and it, one thing led to another, and we had enough to put together a men's national team, though we're also really, really pushing for a women's national team. We just haven't gotten there quite yet, and this Jamaica tournament came up, and it seemed like, wow, this would be such a cool debut for Brazil to be able to go. We had enough players, and we were still looking for a coach. And I'm here just kind of helping out, like liaisoning, and this is a huge testament to them. Like my own boys and the parents and the volunteers, they were like, Cristina, but we want you. This is from them, which is just like such a huge testament to who they are as people and who they are as guys. And I actually felt so incredibly honored and turned down their offer at first, because I live in Spain. This tournament is in Jamaica. Like logistically, I mean, we all know lacrosse funding is a big issue. And so I felt bad, like it just makes no sense, and where is that money going to come from? And I'm not going to ask these boys that are already spending all of this money to get themselves there, because this is a self-funded tournament, to then add all of that to get a coach there. So it's like, let's find somebody out of the States. Those flights are cheaper out of Florida. I'll get you guys a coach. And they said, Cristina, but we really want you, and if it's not you, we want a woman. So can you find us another woman? This is just such a huge testament to them. So I actually reached out to somebody else who I know, and she couldn't make it because it's right in their fall ball season. So we were back to square one. And I have a really good friend. His name is Scott Ratliff, and he runs a nonprofit called the Give and Go Foundation, with his co-founder Adam Gittleman. And so I reached out to Scott, just like, hey, so here's the situation. I don't suppose you know about a coach. And he's like, the funny thing is I do know a coach, and her name is Cristina Vélez, and I think she should go, and I'm going to find you the money to get you there. And I said, I was just totally blown away by just our community and our people. And so thanks to the Give and Go Fund, I am here with my boys, and I left it a surprise to the very end. I was like, hey guys, I got us a coach, and they're like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I'm like, and she's a woman. They're like, yes, this is so great. And I finally, I left it to the last minute, and when I told them, they just like lost their minds. And so to me, that was like one of the most fulfilling moments, and being here and coaching these guys and just being a part of this environment and sort of a pioneer, but I don't necessarily see myself as a pioneer. I'm here just like doing what feels right and what so many others can and will do. So that's kind of a little bit of the backstory.